Hi everyone, today I am chatting about how you can leave your comfort zone because I talk a lot about why you should be leaving your comfort zone, why I think it's so important to personal growth, and someone commented on one of those videos and was like, Kat, how do you leave your comfort zone? And I was like, I should probably talk about this because I can totally see why to some people it might be like a woo-woo, personal development term that they hear, or phrase that they hear a lot of people saying, but they're like, but how do I actually do it? So that is what I'm going to cover today. The number one thing I want to say is figure out what your comfort zone is. I'm quite an intuitive person. I'm quite aware of myself and where I'm at, how I'm feeling about different areas of my life, and I think self-reflection never hurt anyone, and if anything you need some sort of self-reflection time in your schedule in order to recognise any areas where you're a bit stagnant, you're a bit too comfortable, you're sort of stuck in a bit of a rut, and you should be doing something that you're really passionate about, that scares you a little bit, that is going to push you forward, but you're stuck in that comfort zone. So I would spend some time alone if possible, but feel free to talk it out with a friend or a coach, someone you trust who has got your back, and figure out the areas or the area in your life where you are in your comfort zone. My second piece of advice on leaving your comfort zone is to follow your curiosities. And I think there are so many things that we see, whether it's a new class or an event that's in our local area or an opportunity that we get asked about, and we know, like, deep down we get that initial ooh, like that sounds really cool, or you might turn to a friend and say, oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish I was confident enough to do that, or good enough to do that, or whatever you're justifying in your head to stay in that comfort zone. But you get that initial like, I wonder what that would be like. I wonder how that would go. Recognise those curiosities and run for them. Honestly, just go for it. Over 6, maybe 8 months ago, I had a session with one of my previous coaches, and we were talking about how I could be connecting with the women that I want to reach and I care about, which is you guys. And we were just like, she was saying, what could you be doing, to connect with these women? How could you really get your message across to them? Could you do an interview series, maybe a podcast? And ever since she said that idea of a podcast just clicked in my brain, and I could not stop thinking about that for months. And I was in my comfort zone. I didn't have a clue how to start a podcast. I just knew that I thought they were really cool, and something about starting a podcast just felt right. Don't always feel like, leaving your comfort zone has to come from these huge epiphanies and this really deep connection with your intuition. I would say if you're struggling, just follow your curiosity, because leaving your comfort zone can be the most simple things, like wanting to try out a new restaurant or visit a new place, feeling pulled to visit a certain place or talk to a certain person. You just never know, and I personally feel like some of those curiosities in my life have been presented to me. My third tip would be to break it down. So once you've figured out where you're feeling comfortable and how perhaps you need to leave your comfort zone, don't just leave it at that and think, oh, I know I need to do this, I know I need to try this. Actually sit and take some time to break that down. There are those initial few stages that you can take and are gonna set the ball rolling. So for me, with the podcast example, I just sat and Googled and I watched so many YouTube videos and read so many blog posts about people who'd started a podcast themselves, and I found really relatable and thought, well, if they can do it and they've shared how they did it, it empowered me to know that I could do it too. Which leads me on to my last tip, which is just take the first step. We just get so caught up in this huge thing and we feel like, I could never do that, I could never achieve that, I could never go there, I'm not good enough, I'm too scared, I'm too anxious, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. And what about if you could just take the first step towards doing that thing? Just go to a taster class, just speak to someone who's done it, just watch someone's YouTube video who's been through what you want to do. Just taking one step towards that thing even being an idea that could occur, I think can be the bravest thing. Let me know what other personal development videos you want to see, any specific topics you want me to discuss, any types of videos you want to see. I always love your feedback. I also feel the need to let you know I have a podcast, if you've not already gathered by the example in this video. The Put Yourself First podcast comes out every Monday and Friday. I do upload the interviews every Monday here, but if you want to listen on the go, you can subscribe and download on iTunes, SoundCloud and Stitcher. So thank you so much for your support with that so far. Please subscribe if you're new, and you can also join our community for free. There's a link in the description box where you can sign up there. I will see you soon and have a great day.